Well, I think you're right about the African Union, and in a way that was partly the reason the Zimbabwean situation was allowed to go on, because the African Union, particularly South Africa under Mbeki, didn't really want to ever challenge him, and he could do dreadful things and then go to a big international African conference where they stood to applaud him. You know, they really, really made a hero of him. And I think there will be, a lot of people saying today, great, but I think there'll be a lot of people who will be having some sense of he is still the father of the nation. My worry, George, and it really is a worry, is that the world internationally will say, this is fantastic. Yeah, we have now got a new Zimbabwe start for Zimbabwe. Yeah. And of course, if Mnangagwa, although he may be clever enough to realise he's got to keep the international body, you know, people on board if he wants to get the country moving, he may be clever enough, but we can't forget his past. And his past, in terms of what happened in Matabele and the 20,000 odd people who were massacred just after, a few years after independence, you know, that will never be forgotten by the Zimbabwean people. So I think we have to be very careful that the British government and international opinion don't just sort of rush in and say, this is wonderful. We need to make sure that we're talking. And sometimes I worry about our embassies abroad, that they talk to the same sort of people. Of course. And what they need to do is to be out there talking to the trade union movement and the various groups of Zimbabwean civil society who might not see things in the way that our ambassador would and report back. And we need to just be clear that we want to listen to Zimbabweans must decide their future, and the crucial thing now is to get genuine, free and fair elections. And if Mnangagwa can come up with a way that actually allows a real free election with, you know, perhaps Morgan Tsvangirai having one last shot or whoever, then there's a chance that Zimbabwe could move forward. But until we get that, it will be just the change of one pretty ruthless dictator, despite his history, to another ruthless dictator who has an even less
impressive. Kate Hoey, MP, thanks for joining us on a momentous day for Zimbabwe, whichever way you look at it.
Thank you.